One of the greatest forms of resistance to this truth can be found not where most people would expect, but right in the midst of the minds of believers. It is the mind of a believer that questions form. It is in the mind of the believer that flesh clings desperately to life. The mind of the believer could be considered to be one of the greatest battlefields that you and I will ever wage war upon. Is it any wonder why Romans 12 opens up with the words that we read in Romans 12, 1 and 2. Therefore I exhort you, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a sacrifice, living, holy, and pleasing to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may approve what the will of God is, that which is good and pleasing and perfect. Paul brings us to this glorious truth, as we said earlier in verses 28 and 30 through 30 of chapter 8, a truth that is so real, so sure, so certain, that God recorded it in His Word as an event that is already completed. This is a challenge for our minds, because in our minds, the place that the enemy continues to use as a weapon in his arsenal, calling questions to us that give us doubt. And it is obvious from what God places in His Word that doubt is one of the things that He does not wish for His people to have. We should walk forward in assurance, confidently understanding that we belong to Him.